Hello there everyone and welcome back to DML. So for most of today we are going to be taking a look at how solo events sort of operate and how they've been in the past, so that you can sort of prepare yourself for what is going to be coming later today. But very quickly before I get into that, I did also want to mention that for this dragon right here there is currently a bundle out if you're interested. Apparently it's going to be 3 days or 3.5 days long for this bundle, and this has the Ladybug dragon, some food, and some VIP in there. The VIP is very, very nice during event time, so that's probably the reason that they decided to bring it out right now. But I do really like the Ladybug dragon. I always have. So if you're someone interested in that, it's around about £8, so that's probably about 10 American dollars. So no, go and get it if you're interested. But, like I said, we are going to be focusing on this event stuff, because obviously Holidays is going to be the new solo event coming out today. We don't know whether that's going to be at 12 like the last event, or whether it's going to be like 4 PM like they used to be. We'll have to wait and see. But it's probably going to have this candle or candy cane dragon and the Arctic as rewards. And so if you're someone that's either never really, been a part of solo events before, air quote solo events, or you don't really remember how they go, well, this is sort of how they are. This is a video that I did like, when was this, in May, during the, the block dragon event, that cute dragon. I really did like him. But it was the Playday solo event, which is probably going to be almost exactly the same as this one. So this is how the levels sort of work, or tiers. So in this event there were 10 tiers. On tier 3 we have the reward dragon as the felted. On tier 8 we had the xylophone as a reward dragon, and on tier 10 we had the block dragon. So every dragon in this event was actually a new dragon. And on top of that, obviously you get rewards for hitting each level or tier in the event. And then at the bottom it shows you the 3 sort of little quests that you have to accomplish to be able to move on. I can't zoom in or anything, unfortunately, because it's a video. But you'll see that there's collecting gold, feeding dragons, and catching creatures for level 1. And just like castle events, these sort of levels will get progressively harder. Instead of having to collect gold from habitat 16 times, it'll go up to 70 times. And the cooldowns will take longer and longer. So if you already know how to, do castle events, or if you sort of are aware of how castle events work, you pretty much do have a good idea of, some of the good tactics to take on in terms of this event as well. So it's pretty much the exact same tactics, for the collecting gold, click on habitats like I'm doing here, and at level 1 you can get, in this event you could get 8 straight away, which meant just 2 resets. It took pretty much no time at all. It shows you how long the reset will be until you can collect more of the item, and it's just pretty simple stuff overall. And you'll just be given 3 quests to do on every single level of the event. Catching creatures, which is something we always get during events. Click them whenever you see them. It's as simple as that. But there's not a whole lot else to solo events. There will be DML wiki guides like what's shown in the video here, which will show us probably the minimum amount of time required to complete each tier. Because you can see here it says this tier, this tier, this tier, an estimated minimum completion time for tier 1 it was 20 hours, which is wrong, it was just a mistake. But then 1 hour and 52 minutes, 3 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours for each respective tier. So this event is going to be going on, this Holidays event, until I believe they said the 31st, so how many days is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just making sure it was 10. Because all the other events that we have pretty much do last 10 days. This will more or less be the same, but you'll have to be on tier 6 within the first 2 days, realistically, to have a good shot of finishing the events. Because that's how they've always worked. Always, always, always worked. They'll just keep getting harder and harder. And there's actually help sections normally in events that a lot of people don't end up clicking on. But like here it says gathering items, perform simple actions to get certain items. Sometimes you'll have to repeat a few times. And you cannot gather all items at once. If the action doesn't result in an item, you'll have to wait a short time. And again, we don't know if the event is going to operate in the exact same way, but there's a good chance that it will. So then collect all rewards step by step before the event is over. Check back often, view the action, repeat it, and win the special limited dragons. It's quite funny that there's a ginger dragon showcase there when this was during a random, like, toy solo event. But either way, like I said, if you've ever encountered a castle event before, like the one that we just had, the quests are very, very similar. So, since we are in the moments about to prep for the event, best thing I can suggest for you to do is not collect any food if you've got it in, not collect any gold, because again, we have no idea what time this event's going to be coming out, because they haven't actually given us official numbers. Don't breed anything at the moment. What's some more stuff? Don't waste all of your portal gems yet. You'll need them for the winning fights. And if you got Chronos, make sure you don't use them until the event is up, because that will put you quite far ahead. You know, it's just little things like that. And, of course, another major one that you definitely should do is have Fire Dragon eggs waiting in your hatchery to be leveled up. Don't hatch them, because there are hatching quests during the event, so just go over to your hatchery, put in as many Fire Dragons as you can. Make sure you've at least got one space in your hatchery to do this. Then when the event starts and there's Feed Dragon quests, which I'm like 98% sure that there probably will be, you're going to have all of this stuff available to you. And I don't believe there's ever going to be anything like collect treasures as part of the event, because that would be insanely bad for people that haven't unlocked stuff yet. So it is just going to be simple stuff, collecting gold, feeding up dragons, winning battles. You've seen it all before, probably, but if not, I hope that that sort of gives you a little bit more of an idea of what you're coming into following today, because, you know, the more prepared you are, the more likely it is that you're actually going to finish off the event. I'm not going to put anyone else in to actually explore, just in case we need the dragons for whatever reason, but apart from that, I can't really think of anything else that you could really prep with. So, you know, all I'm going to say is very best of luck if you are going to be trying to reach the final level in the event. Are solo events harder than castle events? I think it depends on both your team, and I think it depends on sort of how you manage your time, let's say, especially during Christmas, because with solo events, the thing is, you don't have any element requirements like castle events do. You know, castle events, they make it, you have to use metal only in this fight, and, you know, all that fantastic RNG that comes along with collecting chests and that. So I think that in a sense, solo events are more open to every player, but at the same time, I feel like I've struggled, let's say, with solo events more than I've struggled with castle events. I feel like I've missed out on completing more solos than I have castles, and again, I'm not sure whether that's because I'm more dedicated during castle events, or whether it's just that some of the later levels in the solo events can get very, very tedious. And I said this about castle events as well. I really don't see the fun in redoing the same fight 800 times. But the thing is, you can get a lot of the quests done instantly for, like, those 6 hours. You can collect all the items that you need pretty much straight away if you got the portal gems, if you can have the breed space, and if you can feed up the dragon. Whereas with solo events, they force you to spread out your time, because you can't just instantly finish off a level in a solo event. Because again, you'll collect 8 watering cans, and then it will say, you have to wait 10 minutes before you can collect another watering can. So that's the difference between the events mainly. And, you know, I really don't know which one I prefer anymore, because I have my issues with both types of events. So we'll see if this solo event increases in difficulty from the last solo event that we had, because, you know, the last castle event we had was harder than the one that we'd had in for Halloween with the muerte. So we will just have to wait and see how this event compares to its old predecessors, basically. I hope that for the sake of all the people that always complain, that maybe it'll be a little bit easier for them. Maybe they'll add some more, help sections that maybe will make a little bit more sense in people's heads, so they won't just say, this event's impossible! And it's mostly down to the fact that they don't understand how the events work, I feel like that's what happens in a lot of games, though. Like, people say things are impossible, things are difficult, mostly just due to personal misunderstanding with, how to do things. They don't know really the best tactics to do things with, because every single event in this game so far has been doable without having to pay in DML. This is a free-to-play game, so of course microtransactions are everywhere pretty much, but they do make the events doable without you having to spend money. Obviously, they make them as hard as they possibly can to sort of entice people, but if you're managing yourself properly, they don't force you to actually spend money as a requirement. So, don't go into the event thinking it's impossible. Don't go into the event thinking that, oh, but I'm only a level 50 player, I can't finish it, it's impossible, quacks. Look, I'm going to be doing the entirety of this event on my Android device, which is a level 46 account now. So, I assure you, that it is possible to do it. I've done it before, I can do it again. Again, unless the event is literally impossible, but if that happened, I genuinely believe like a good portion of the player base would just leave. Like, if you get to the point in DML where you legitimately cannot achieve anything without spending money, I think they would end up losing a lot of players, like, in the long run. I don't think it's something that would happen overnight. Like, maybe people say, I can't believe you made this change, Game Loft, and made it pay to win to such an extent. I believe that people would be very, annoyed, but I think it would just cause people to slowly drop off more and more, rather than, a sudden thing where everyone leaves. But I don't think that they're gonna do that. They've got what appears to be a working formula for the most part, and they did get to throw in those chests during the Divine event, which were the most pay-to-win aspect in this game I have ever seen. And, they probably made quite a lot off of those chests, because I saw a lot of people investing hundreds and hundreds of dollars into those chests when the event came out. So, I'm hoping that they don't do the same thing with actual solo or castle events. They've never done it in the past. I genuinely hope that they continue not to make them that pay to win, but you never know. You never know well and truly that that's going to be the case, but you can hope. And let's hope that along with those two new dragons that are pretty much already confirmed to be coming out in this event, I hope that we do get another one. A couple of people were saying, what about the snowstorm, quacks? They might bring out the snowstorm. That is very true. Not the snowstorm, the snow sport, sorry. The other new dragon that we've seen. Maybe the snow sport dragon will be one of those new dragons. I can hope so, because he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool looking. I do like him. So, we will have to wait and see until later today. Again, I'm only doing this because I have no idea when the event's coming out. Maybe out in 20 minutes time, maybe out in 5 hours time. So, either way, get yourself prepped, get yourself ready. And again, this is mostly only to people that do take these events super seriously. If you're someone that just, plays DML on and off, and maybe when you remember it's there and you're like, oh, I haven't played DML in a little while, solo events are not the thing for you. You might get to the level 3 reward. Is it level 3? Or is it level 5? I actually don't remember what the main one was. I was just looking at it in that video as well. But either way, the early dragon that pretty much anyone can get hold of. Oh god, I just let him die by accident. I'm sorry, Hermes. I was not paying attention to the level of this autumn dragon. But, yeah, there's a lot less RNG In fact, there's no RNG as far as I'm aware in terms of solo events. So, no complaining about that. All that it's going to come down to is whether you're available during Christmas or not, basically. So, I think that's enough on the event side of it. We'll see it anyway. So, it'll be a couple of hours until we get something else, or more news about that anyway. But, hope you've been alright the last few days. Anyway, obviously I do have a new game that I'm playing at the minute as well as DML. I'm hoping that the videos for that game are going to keep me sort of up during the Christmas period, with at least making some content. Again, it's going to be such a massive struggle me trying to do anything, because I have no idea how I am going to actually do event videos. I can do the event, but I have no idea how I'm actually going to upload and edit. Well, I guess that's a question for me. And by the way, I'm going to collect all of this stuff for the pure reason that, like I said, I am not going to be doing the solo event on this account. I'm not going to be doing it on this account anyway. I can't do it on this account. I will not be home for 5 of the 10 days of the event. So, you know, it kind of puts a spanner in the works, to be completely brutally honest. But, you know, for now, if you do want to get even more of an idea of how the events work, you know, just search up DML solo event and look for any events of the same style. You can watch any of my old event stuff. I do have an entire playlist just called DML Events, if you've never seen it, so you can look through those if you're still curious, but I think, you know, it's pretty simple. Pretty simple and basic. I don't think there's too much else to add. But I'm going to leave it there and sort out some more stuff in preparation for leaving, but for now, you know, good luck, and let's hope for a good event this time around. So, for now, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I will see you then.